properties are safe. That means the gas lines and the electrical and all our hazards have to be secured before the teams enter onto the properties. Currently, the teams have completed 298 inspections. Of this, the teams discovered 88 were damaged and 132 were destroyed. This is an ongoing process. It's going to take time for us to get through all the properties. Our intent to be as transparent as possible and keep you updated with this information as we move forward. We've had a busy day on the fire line today, and I would like to now bring up our operations chief.
All right, good evening. My name is Nick Cleary. I'm Battalion Chief with Ventura County Fire, working as day operations on the mountain fire. So not having a map, I recommend that you guys go to any of the websites to look at the maps. So as I'm talking and describing it stuff, you can kind of reference it back as I'm talking about it. So we'll go into Camarillo proper, which we're calling Branch 1. That's the Camarillo Heights. No significant growth in the perimeter today. A very good day of mop up around the structures. There's a lot of unburned islands of fuel in there that didn't ignite during yesterday's wind event, and so crews had to get back in there and cut those out using hand crews and engine companies. They also had to go kind of house to house, road to road, and some of the areas have opened a fuel line and put direct hand lines so the perimeter didn't grow. But lots of calls for service in that area. Good work was put in by all the engine companies. It's going to continue for multiple days. There's a lot of houses that need to be mopped up completely, because if we don't do that, then there's potential for that to extend to any of the houses that weren't affected. But good, it was a good day in Branch 1 today, which we're calling Camarillo Heights, and we'll be continuing that for the next plan tomorrow. Getting into Branch 5, which is the Somas area, that's the southern area of South Mountain. That's where the most significant action occurred today, and potentially the most significant growth. So we'll talk about Stockton Road, Waters Road, Bigsby Road. That's all in the east, southeast corner of the main body of fire. The fire hooked around and got established with that northeast wind. We were able to get crews. We even pulled some from the fire stations today to engage off Waters Road to protect structures. We used dozers, fixed wing, rotor wing, and hand crews to put direct hand line in, working from Stockton Road north towards South Mountain Road, which is in the Santa Clara River south of Fillmore City. Crews at the end of the shift had direct hand line basically going from Stockton Road all the way to South Mountain Road, which is cutting off that most eastern section of the fire as we get into this transition from a northeast wind event to an onshore wind event. We do have about 0.75% of the line working from Stockton from the south to the north line with retardant and dozers. And as I was coming in here for the briefing, crews are engaging from South Mountain Road, working south to connect the dots to that dozer line. So we should have a good anchor point that's going to be able to hold that fire from progressing any further to the east. Walking around on the south side, Branch 5, Solano Verde, Somas area, no significant growth, lots of calls for service. And again, as the fire moved through yesterday with that northeast wind, there was a lot of unburned areas of fuel. And so today some of those pockets of fuel had opportunities to burn in between orchards. And so crews engaged in any hot spots within the structures, the orchards, and any of those unburned islands. Coming around on the Ventura City side, Wells Road, 126, Santa Clara River bottom, no significant growth. The fire continued to back down into the Santa Clara River bottom. We did have a few spots in the Santa Clara River bottom that we were able to engage with crews and dozers, but most of the fire is holding on the South Mountain Road, working all the way east to San Cayetano Road, where the crews are going direct back to Stockton Road. That's the end of the report. Thank you.
So we talked about only those two? Or did we miss one?
Good evening. My name is Dr. Ariel Cohen, and I'm the meteorologist in charge of the National Weather Service in Los Angeles, Oxnard. First of all, on behalf of the entire National Weather Service, our hearts go out to everyone who has been adversely impacted by this fire. We're continuing to work round the clock with all of our partners in the fire agencies and emergency management to ensure that everyone has the information that they need to be able to effectively combat the fires and also support the relief and recovery efforts. At this point in this major, very strong Santa Ana wind event, it's on the decrease at this time. Winds are subsiding over the lower elevations while remaining still gusty across the higher elevations. Only a few days ago, we issued our first particularly dangerous situation, PDS, red flag warning, since the year 2020. that indicates the most extreme of volatility of weather parameters coming together to support explosive fire development and the development of very large fires. Unfortunately, this came to fruition, and we see this with the mountain fire. At this time now, all PDS, again, particularly dangerous situation red flag warnings, have been cleared across our jurisdiction of Southern California. In fact, in addition, red flag warnings for the entire area have also expired as of top of the hour, except for the mountains. So Santa Susana Mountains, red flag warning, the more traditional type, remains in effect into the overnight hours and through 11 a.m. on Friday, as we do expect the continuation of gusty northeasterly offshore winds in the 25 to 35 mile per hour range, with gusts to 50 miles per hour through the overnight hours. Again, those northeast to east-northeast offshore winds continuing, gusts up to 50 miles an hour in the mountains. By the time we get to 11 a.m. tomorrow, the winds will further subside across the region, and we are not expecting any red flag warnings to be in effect for the area. Now, we're still going to have dry conditions settle over the region. However, by later tomorrow, especially after 1 or 2 o'clock, we're going to get reversal of that flow, and onshore winds begin to kick in, and they'll begin to spread a weak marine layer in onshore a bit, bring relative humidities up, and also have the potential to redirect any ongoing fire. So that'd be something to keep in mind as we go forward. When we get into the daytime on Saturday, that onshore flow is going to have a much wider impact across southern and central Ventura County, and we would expect that that will also moisten the area as well. Looking further ahead, unfortunately, we are looking at the potential for another weak to perhaps moderate Santa Ana wind event to bring the potential for critical fire weather conditions as we head into the early and midweek time frame of next week. So we encourage everyone to continue to monitor the latest information from the National Weather Service. Thank you.
Ventura County Sheriff Jim Freihoff. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. I want to start my remarks by addressing the fact that today is the 6-year anniversary of the borderline shooting that we had in Thousand Oaks here in Ventura County. Same as the 6-year anniversary of the Woolsey and Hill fires that had much devastation for our area. I want to take a moment to honor and remember the lives lost, specifically Sergeant Ron Heelis and all the other families that were victimized that evening. Let us keep their memories close as we move forward together. As we stand here tonight, we are on the second night of the mountain fire. Earlier today, I had the opportunity to see the impact firsthand and speak to homeowners who have lost everything, with the exception of their lives. The devastation is absolutely heartbreaking, and our thoughts and prayers continue to go out to all those that are impacted. I would like to thank Governor Newsom for coming and touring the area today and signing the emergency proclamation declaring Ventura County a state of emergency to give us the much needed assets and resources that we need. I urge everyone to stay out of the areas that are impacted. The fire is still very dangerous. The winds have not completely deceased. We have numerous firefighters out, and it's now dark. I don't want any of our first responders getting hurt, so please stay out of the area. On the injuries, we've had 10 confirmed injuries from the fire, most of which were smoke inhalation and otherwise non-life threatening. To date, we've evacuated over 400 homes, 250 residents choosing to stay and protect their homes, and there were 800 homes that no one was home, so assuming they had either left before we arrived, were at work, or otherwise out of town. I want to commend our deputies for their heroic actions, ensuring the safety of our community during this difficult time. Yesterday, several of our deputies helped evacuate 4 patients and 2 caregivers from a senior care facility in Camarillo. My deputies, volunteers, and search and rescue teams continue to be dedicated and showing incredible courage, going into areas that are extremely dangerous to evacuate those in danger. At this point, we have not started to repopulate the area. We still have significant work to do before we can do that. We need to ensure that we are cooperating with SoCal Edison and SoCal Gas to make sure the areas are safe for repopulation. And once those are clear of all firefighters and other first responders, then we can start the repopulation process. We have deputies that are heavily patrolling the areas that have been evacuated. We will not tolerate any looting of any kind. Please continue to stay vigilant and follow all evacuation orders and closures on vcemergency.com for the most up-to-date information. We remain fully committed to deploying every resource we have to fight this, and we look forward to the end of this event altogether. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Tony Achapenti, Battalion Chief with the Ventura County Fire Department and one of the Unified Incident Commanders with the Mountain Incident. In addition, we're in Unified Command with CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 5 in the Ventura County Sheriff's Office. I just want to take a minute to recognize the aggressive full suppression strategy and effort put forth by the ground resources out there the last 48 hours. Crews are diligently and aggressively working to bring resolve to this incident as quickly as they possibly can, and that's what we'll continue to do in the coming days until we're able to safely and effectively get folks back into their homes and back to, what we would recognize as their safe spaces. I want to recognize the partner agencies that have been supportive, not just here in the operational area, but throughout the entire state of California. They expediently came to provide assistance in a time of need, and we're extremely fortunate that the mutual aid system within the state of California is what it is. Moving forward, we'll continue to find every opportunity to provide effective, expedient, and pertinent information to keep you as informed as we possibly can, and understand we're doing everything possible to get you back in your homes as soon as safely possible.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Dustin Gardner, County Fire Chief. I want to reiterate a couple things. One, I want to say thank you to all our responders, our mutual aid system, and all of our partners. As the sheriff said, the governor came down today, and with the governor came the director of CAL FIRE and his entire executive staff. And it showed the strength and partnership we have being a contract county here in Ventura, accepting responsibility for the state, or the SRA, the State Responsibility Area Watershed. As the Ventura County Fire Department, we act as a contract county for CAL FIRE. When incidents like this get up and going and expand the capacity of the Ventura County Fire Department, CAL FIRE, as you saw our unified IC up here with Team 5, they do not hesitate. They're here with us instantaneous, and an entire Type 1 IMT mobilized by this morning with a call yesterday afternoon, which is an amazing partnership, and I want to acknowledge it. Our working relationship with CAL FIRE has never been better. We appreciate your support being here. We appreciate all our Team 5 members being here. And we look forward to the next few days of getting this under control. We will remain in unified command with CAL FIRE. We'll have embedded ICs, as you just saw up here, and embedded ops chiefs, and the sheriff will stay embedded with his staff. So you will see your community firefighters out there along with all of our mutual aid partners. For those in our impact areas, I was with the sheriff today and the governor as we drove around and saw the devastation, and it is truly devastating, and our hearts absolutely break and go out to you. Over the next few days, as you repopulate, you will see yellow Ventura County Fire Department pickup trucks driving around those areas. You'll see lots of fire trucks, but you'll see specifically small pickup trucks with 2 firefighters in them. Those are community liaisons, community representatives out there to assist you. If you need help, grab them. If you're going through your house and want help lifting something, moving something, sifting through something, dealing with damage, grab them. They're there for you. We want to show that we're out there. We want to be there with you. We were there yesterday. We're here today. We'll be there again tomorrow. So we will stay with our community until the very end and through this all. I want to thank all our firefighters. As Chief Ochapini said and Chief Cleary said, it was a significant 36-hour firefight. We had many firefighters that they were out on the line until this evening. They fought fire for 36 straight hours, which is that's a feat of human strength, and it's dangerous, it's damaging, and it shows their commitment. I want to thank them. Tonight, you'll hear and you'll see, much like last night, we're going to fly all of our heavy helicopters again tonight. That's a very unique opportunity we have here in Ventura County. We partner with Southern California Edison, Los Angeles County, Orange County, and myself on a QRF called a Quick Reaction Force Helicopter Force, and they fly at night, and they drop retardant in unison, 3,000 gallons at a piece, along with our Firehawk helicopters. So while the wind dies down, we'll take full advantage of the weather, we'll take full advantage of the lower temperatures, and we'll continue to put as much fire as we can out. And with that, I will end my part, and we'll start taking questions, Andy. Oh, no, wrong.
Thank you, Chief. My name is Kelly Law. I'm your County Supervisor Chair, And on behalf of the Board of Supervisors, I wanted to say thank you to everyone who has been helping us fight this fire. Our first responders, thank you. All of our mutual aid, thank you. We really appreciate the cities, the state, the federal, all the agencies coming together to work for our county. We've had a lot of hard times in Ventura County, but we are very resilient, and I really want to say thank you to the coordination that is going. I don't think we have the best county ever, because this coordination only happens here, is what I hear, and I hold that true. Everyone is fighting for our community, for their houses, to really just cut this fire. And I wanted to say thank you to our city elected officials, our state officials, federal. We've got the city mayor for Tony Trembley's here, Assemblywoman Jackie Irwin, Steve Bennett's been here, Senator Monique Lamone, Congressman Julie Brownlee. We have our supervisors, Jeff Gurrell, Vianney Lopez, Janice Parvin, and myself. All of us are working behind the scenes, trying to make sure the funding is here, the resources is here, and that everyone is aligned to help, working with our water districts and everybody. So just say thank you, our CHP. Please listen to what is being told to you. Go to vcemergency.com for the latest information. As you know, we're already working on recovery. You'll find that information.
All right, you've been listening to a press conference at the Ventura County Fire Department on the mountain fire. Right now, that stands at 20,485 acres. We learned today that 132 properties were destroyed and 88 more properties were damaged. Today, they evacuated 400 more people today, and at one point, there were 10,000 people evacuated from this area.
Yeah, and they remain evacuated largely because this fire continues on. By far, the damage is far worse than we were expecting. 132 homes.
Unbelievable.
We knew it was going to be bad, but that is really bad. Also, so far, no talk about how this fire started.